Hi, Christian. Good to see you back on the platform. Although, just looking from the thumbnails, it doesn't looks like there's going to be a couple of issues with the video. I hope you had a great vacation and that all is well with you and your family. Let's go ahead and look at your squat. Maybe, if YouTube will load. Okay, your knees are really floating forward at the bottom here. So this actually is pretty good back angle, pretty good knees out. There's your knee. We can use this upright as a reference, and that's as far forward as that knee should ever get. And as we follow you down, you can see that the knee is continuing to slide forward. And that causes a number of problems, although you do manage to get to your depth here. On the way up, you are definitely staying back in your hips, and that's good. But your bar path is not entirely vertical because you're sort of rocking back and forth on your feet a little bit. It's again pretty good depth, but your knees are sliding way forward at the bottom. You need to post your knees, set your knees, and sit back. Now, on the other side of the coin, these aren't bad for somebody coming off almost a month of a layoff. But next time, I want to focus on those knees. I don't want those knees sliding forward at the bottom. So that's what I want you to focus on next time you get under the bar for the squat. Let's have a look at the press. Okay, bar's a little bit light, so you got a little bit of a wiffle ball effect with the bar going around your face. I would like to have your wrists straighter at the bottom and elbows more in front. Knees are looking better on the hip thrust without as much knee flexion. Yeah, bar's kind of going around your face. Elbows are not in front, so you have a little bit of catch-up work to do. There's been some form creep since before you went on vacation. So just back this up. Right here, we can see that your wrists, oh, for heaven's sake, your wrists are bent back, right? They're not extended and straight the way I would like them. And your elbows, I suspect if I looked at this from the side, your elbows are probably even back behind the bar. So that's going to force the bar to go around your face instead of going straight up. So I need elbows up front, elbows in front up here. I need a nice straight wrist. Hips could be thrust out a little bit further than that. Think about a nice vertical bar path. The top position looks real good. That's a nice shrug, nice straight knees, fully extended. So that looks pretty good. When the weight gets heavier, it's not going to forgive this position with the elbows behind the bar and the wrists extended like that. Pretty good top position though. So that's what I have to say about that. We'll clean that up on the next workout. Again, you're coming back from a layoff, and I don't expect things to be perfect after a layoff. But we do have some things that we're going to have to get caught up on. Now, you're just sort of bending over and grabbing the bar. There is a 5-point protocol to approaching the bar for a pull from the floor. You approach the bar, you put it over the middle of your foot, about an inch away from your shins. You bend over with straight knees at the hips, grabbing the bar just outside the legs. You drop your shins to the bar without moving the bar and keeping your hips as high as possible. You take a deep breath, and without lowering the hips or moving the bar, you raise the chest and set your back position. And then step 5, you drag the bar straight up the legs. That's the way, to this day, I do it every single time I do a pull from the floor. I do those 5 steps, and you should do those steps too. Even if you think you're really comfortable with the bottom position and you've got it nailed down, you know it by heart, you've got to set it up in a methodical way each and every time, because that avoids form creep and that avoids bar path problems moving forward. So I want to see you setting up the pull the same way every time. Don't just bend over and take the bar. Now, it's actually a pretty good pull, right? So a lot of stuff is cleaned up since we started. I think your hips are too low here. all right? Your hips need to be higher, your knees need to be back further. So your hips are a little bit low here. And we can watch when you pull, see, the way I can tell that your hips are too low is that you had to raise them before the bar would come off the floor. So keep your hips high, then pull. Doing a good job of keeping the bar on your legs, right? But your knees are way too far forward and your hips are too low. And you're sort of sitting back trying to squat the bar up a little bit. So hips need to be higher than that, Kristian. As you started to pull the bar from the floor, you got the right diagnostic angles. It was a little bit more like it. So the big thing is that we got you back under the bar and you don't have too much form creep, but you do have some. The weights haven't had to be backed off too much, but they did have to be some. So let's put some uninterrupted training together. Let's get a nice uninterrupted stream of training together, see if we can get you through this linear progression, get you strong, and address some of the form issues that have slowly creeped back in. Won't take long as we get you on the platform regularly. So I'm going to go into Fitbot and adjust your program moving forward, and it's good to see you again. Take care.